Nobody can do it themselves. It don't work. Me try that already. To put 10,000 to flight. No man a island in life. Nobody can do it themselves.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Jamal _Haki. And today, we are back with another How I Survived My 5th Quarter of Nursing School. Let's go! Oh! But here's the thing, man. I wouldn't be me if this wasn't like late. Oh my goodness. Let me tell y'all, what is it? As of the date of recording this video, it is currently May 27th. As of the current date recording this video, man, I finished my 5th quarter of nursing school March 25th.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
Yep, March 25th. It literally started January 13th and went to March 25th. And I am just now uploading this.
Huh?
But it will all be worth it.
Perfect.
Before I even jump into this, for anybody checking this video out, man, thank y'all for sending me emails. Thank y'all for watching the video of how I got my level 3 on nursing care of children. You know, if anybody's struggling with pediatrics and it's not your forte, it's not something that you're good at, don't worry. It wasn't something that I was good at first until I really started, you know, hitting them books, you feel me?
Yeah.
But I got y'all. But here's the thing, man. Some of this, as I'm pumping out more content, I'm gonna need some favors from y'all. I'm gonna need y'all to sub to the channel.
Perfect.
I'm gonna need y'all to share the video.
Perfect.
And I'm definitely gonna need y'all to like the video, because we need to, you know, get on the algorithm. You know, we need to blow these videos up. We want to help other people out, but I can't help more people out if y'all ain't subbing to the channel and liking the video.
You think I'm playing?
I got how to get a level 3 on med surge. I definitely got a how to get a level 3 on pharmacology. Man, honestly, I can make a how to get a level 3 on any subject besides community, leadership and management, and OB. Everything else is fair game on the table. Don't ask me for OB. Don't ask me for leadership and management. Do not. I'm being so serious. Don't ask me about community. I'm not saying I can't do community, because I mean, community is not hard. I'm just ain't doing it.
Not on my watch.
But let's go ahead and get to the video really quickly. So, how I survived my 5th quarter of nursing school. Let me tell y'all really quickly. This one may not be as exciting as the other quarters, because honestly, it was a little bit of a breeze, but with a little bit of discretion, right? So let's go ahead and start out the 3 classes that I had and how I survived it. Number 1, if you're watching this video and clearly it's May, I didn't finish nursing school yet, but I'm a couple of weeks from being done with the program. I'm in my last quarter right now.
Perfect.
And I'm gonna update y'all on that video when I finish this quarter. But for right now, we focusing on how I survived the 5th quarter of nursing school, right? So my 3 classes that I had adult health 3, I had community, and I had leadership and management. That's what they called it, or nursing management or whatever. But basically, you get the gist of it. Leadership, management, leadership. That was the class. So in terms of how the classes broke down in terms of this quarter, there were 2 lecture classes and 1 online class. As you already know, the adult health 3 and community health were both the lecture classes, and the leadership and management was the online class. Now, if you ask me personally, you can actually make the argument that really the only class that should have been a lecture class was adult health 3. And I'm gonna talk about community last. That's a whole different bag right there. We go get into that in a second. But for right now, let's start off with like leadership, right? Since that's the least to talk about, really. Leadership was basically, it was a GPA booster, easy A, in terms of the actual course for my school. Now, if you talk about like the actual content within leadership, it's not difficult to grasp. The only problem is, I don't think I read a single PowerPoint in that class. I'm gonna be honest with you.
What?
Don't ask me how I got an A in it. I am not of liberty to disclose that information, and my lawyer is currently not present with me at the moment. But just know that I got an A. Don't ask me how. Don't ask me what I did. Don't ask me what I looked at. Just know I passed, and that's it. But here's my takeaways in terms of what I really gathered from the course of leadership and management, especially when it pertains to NCLEX related things, when it pertains to ATI related things. Again, I could talk about it a little bit here, because I'm definitely not going to be talking about it in a video unless it's like a highly requested video and I could dive into information on it. I got several sources of information. I got books, you name it, I got y'all. You name it! So the three things to really note, at least from my opinion, that I would want to note that you will constantly and frequently see throughout answering these leadership and management type questions. You're going to see delegation questions, basically the nurse delegating roles to the unlicensed, the UAP, unlicensed assistant personnel, and LPNs. There are things LPNs can do that your UAPs can't, and then there are things that, although the LPN can do, it may be more fitting for the UAP to do because it's a waste of the LPN's talent. Like stuff like that. Performance appraisal, basically being able to know the ins and outs of how that looks when someone's looking to get appraised for their performance, so they know that, oh, what I've done, I'm able to get a raise off of this. And who's responsible for it, how does it work, is the performance compared to other people's performance, or is it based off of what is actually like, based off the facilities, the units, discretion, what's actually predicated to that facility that you work at. And the other thing is reviewing charts. For some reason, that always seems to be one of the answers. You see something and it's like, review the charts. Something happens to where there's been an increase on UTIs because of the unit is just terrible at putting in indwelling catheters. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna look at the charts. We're gonna see. Let's look at the history. Let's look at what people been doing on the unit. So if you want to keep in mind about that, I don't even know why I went that deep into leadership. It's not that important. Let's talk about Adult Health 3. Man, listen. Adult Health 3 is basically, in my opinion, very helpful. You will learn a lot. It basically took a lot from what was learned from within Adult Health 1 and Adult Health 2 and just went deeper. So although like in my course, in my program, we already talked about heart stuff. We talked about afterload, preload, and contractility and things of that nature. But what we did in Adult Health 3 was go a little bit deeper, right? We went like a lot deeper in terms of how does this actually works within the nursing realm? How do we treat these symptoms? Looking at in terms of the cardiac monitoring, learning how to read EKGs and stuff of that nature. Seeing like different waveforms and QRS waveforms, Q waves and T waves and things of that nature. Looking at what does this indicate when it looks like this? We went basically deeper within this class and I learned a lot. Now, this class was like make or break for some people, I feel like, because if you didn't apply yourself honestly, you was going to slip up, you was on the chopping block, and you're more liable to fail. And I get it. It's harder. Of course it's going to be harder. It's a lot more application of the information of the things that you're learning. So you want to make sure that you're retaining the information that you're learning in class.
Perfect.
But For me personally, speaking on myself, I really didn't struggle with anything per se. Now, could I had it made better grades on my exam? Yes. Did I pass all of my exams? Yes. I was skating always above average. I was always typically above average within my assignments, within my grades, and I always kind of skated in that area because, you know, I'm a thoroughbred, excellent, you know, type dude. So I know what I'm doing. Perfect. Because I like to apply myself. I like to apply the information in real life world. For me personally, the things that help me out a lot, again, this is going to be maybe a little bit confusing. I'm going to touch on it in another video when I'm explaining my process of how I get like level 3s and level 2s and stuff of that nature on these ATI. Because what I do is I take the information that I learn in the actual clinical setting, even though clinical setting is not Utopia University or Utopia Hospital in terms of a perfect realm or a perfect world where the things, how things should operate within a perfect hospital. I take what I learn in the clinical setting and I apply it to the information that I'm reading to be able to come up with a correct answer.
Oh, is that so?
Because if you learn from good preceptors or good teachers or good clinical instructors, you will retain a lot of information and be able to use it and apply it within passing your exams and passing ATI. Perfect. And that's kind of the setup that I had with my teacher that I had in terms of Adult Health 3. She was the same teacher for my pathology, patho. We're gonna call it patho. She was the same instructor and she was dope. The best instructor that they got in my school, man. Oh, that teacher is fire. As I already kind of stated just a little bit ago, maybe it was just recently, I'm not sure, but I did take several ATI Proctor exams this quarter. Now, since I'm touching on my current adult health, we did 2 within this class. We did pharmacology and we did the med surg ATI. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know right now, there will be 2 videos, one for pharmacology and one for med surg. I got a level 3 for my pharmacology ATI and I got a level 2 for my med surg. Now, I know what you're thinking, man, you got level 2? I mean, that's pretty good. Did you get a level 2? I got a level 2.
Stop it. Get some help.
But if y'all want a video, I got y'all. I know for sure I'm making a video for pharmacology. I got y'all, right? Now, one more thing to touch on. Now, when it comes to clinicals, right? You know, like sometimes you get like clinical instructors that you kind of like, you kind of rock with. Some people get some clinical instructors like, man, this clinical instructor is really terrible. Now, my clinical instructor that I had, listen, if you end up watching this video, hey, I'm no hard feelings. I'm gonna tell you right now. The first day, nah, she wasn't it. I really didn't know how to assess her, right? You know, there was still some information, you know, I needed to gather. I'm not gonna speak for my other classmates. I'm gonna speak for me. For me, she wasn't it.
You think I'm playing?
But here's the thing. I like to let people grow on me, right? You know, I like to let people, you know, adjust. See, I don't get mad. I don't get upset. But I do pick up on energy. And that energy that was being, you know, exuded off of the person was kind of like, ugh. You know what I mean? Not hot. Not cool. But everything else after that, let me just tell you right now. This was low-key the best clinical instructor I done had this whole nursing program. I'm not kidding, man. But there's one caveat to this. This lady, hold on, let me get closer to y'all. This lady made us stand the full 12 hours.
What? What the
The full 12 hours. She said, y'all coming to this clinical right here? Ain't nobody sitting.
This nigga gonna die.
I said, So literally, people up in there standing up, getting DVTs in their legs, the spider varicose veins. People was struggling to stand. I seen people leaning on the wall. It was wild, man. We was standing the whole dang time charting. And I'm looking at the nurses that work there. They looking at us like we stupid. It's like, man, y'all gotta stand the whole time. Can't be me. I seen nurses charting while sitting. I said it must be a privilege, man. What does it look like? What does it feel like to sit? I didn't know. This lady even made us stand while we was eating our lunch. What? Now I'm joking on that one. She didn't actually make us stand while eating lunch, but we did only get a 30-minute lunch. It really only felt like 20, to be honest. But besides that, we was still standing the full 11 hours and 30 minutes. That's nuts. And we had to get there early. I said, oh, you're getting on my nerves. Oh! But here's the thing, and it bothered me because, you know, I got some pretty strong legs. I did learn a lot, but outside of that, she wrong for that. You got to change that. I'm telling you, you're going to make the wrong person stand for 12 hours and I don't know, they might start acting different in that hospital.
You gonna make me act up. You gonna make me do something I'm gonna regret.
So let's go ahead and cover the last thing to talk about for this video. Community health. Like, I really don't know where to start with this particular subject. Like, I'm so serious. But I do want to end it on like a positive note. So let's start with the lows. Like, again, it's highs and lows with this class. The lows is this subject is not that important when it comes to NCLEX. Let me specify that this subject is not important, seemingly important in terms of you passing NCLEX. You probably may only see a couple of community questions. I'm being so serious right now. And in addition, and this goes specifically to my program, to my course, I just feel like it was a lot of extra work. Like a lot of extra work that really counted harshly against your grade, but it was little payoff.
What?
We had 2 projects in the class, and they took a chunk out of your grade, a whole chunk. So it was 2 projects, both dealing with writing a paper, one by yourself, one with a group. The one that you did by yourself, man, nobody got an A on it. No one got an A on the project. It was so, she graded the thing so strictly. I'm talking about, honestly, man, if I misspelled my name, not to say that I would, but if I did, I probably would have failed the quarter.
You think I'm playing?
Like, she was grading it that harshly. She was like, is that a J? I don't think it is. I'm gonna give this man an F. Like, I'm like, yo, lady, relax. Yo, it was like this windshield project that we had to do. Now, granted, the implications and the meaning behind it is important, right? So we're putting in this extra work, but the payoff, it really wasn't that much, because I really didn't retain too much from what I did with the project, because I'm thinking about how she chunked me from my grade. And then the second one was basically like the same thing, like the same project, but on steroids. And I'm gonna tell you why. So now we in a group. Now, no shame to anybody in my group, right? In our group presentation, we end up selecting Germantown, Nashville to be able to, you know, talk about the community, right? And, you know, that's not that difficult, you know, Germantown, Nashville, considering the fact, you know, I live in Nashville. You know, I live in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm like, all right, cool, not too bad. But wait! There was a lady in our group. And, you know, apparently we should have proofread the paper to some degree. I did not. I didn't proofread the paper. I did not read other people's sections. I just read my own. I'm just gonna let it be known. I'm cutting it clean right now. Apparently, when she's discussing about, you know, because we had to present this in front of people in the class. So she's doing her portion of the presentation, you know, people speaking, they talking about this and that within the community. They talking about like the community support, you know, where people can reach out for help and all these things. I'm talking about transportation. And this lady, she's talking about things, I think in relation to like the government or something. But here's the thing. While everybody else was talking about Germantown, Nashville, this lady was talking about Germantown, Tennessee.
Stupid.
Now, I know y'all thinking like, you know, Jamal, what's the difference? I don't get it. Well, there's a big difference. In fact, there's about close to almost 4-hour difference.
Man.
That's how much of a difference it is, man. In Germantown, Tennessee, just think Memphis. Germantown, Tennessee is located where Memphis is. Germantown, Nashville is Nashville. So how can you get that mixed up when you looking up your information, man?
Stupid.
You sitting there talking about information from Memphis, but we didn't even drive to Memphis, man. How does that work? And we look, here's the thing, the information was based off of stuff that we seen physically. We drove to Germantown, Nashville. Now, I don't know what this lady did on her spare time after we dismissed and dispersed from the area. Maybe she did go to Germantown, Tennessee, man. I don't know.
Maybe.
But she couldn't have drove that fast, man, to get to Germantown, because it would have been nighttime. It don't make no sense. Make it make sense, man.
Nope.
And so what happened? I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. We got chunked for our grade, man. We failed that project. I think our grade was like a 75 or something. But look, all I knew is the lowest grade I can make in that class and still pass was like a 25 or a 24. So as long as I didn't get that low of a grade, I knew I was Gucci. I couldn't speak for everybody else in my group, but I can definitely speak for me. Oh! And again, I had to intertwine that story in talking about like some of the lows. Now, when discussing about the highs, and I do want to save this one other story for last, it's gonna be a quick story, is the information that you learn in community, I'm gonna be honest with you, is super important. I had to change my voice for this one because I think you can definitely overlook the actual subject matter of community, maybe because the instructor that we had, or maybe because people thought it was a BS class or a class that it could just easily pass and stuff like that, in which, I mean, I can't blame other people, but for me personally that cares about helping people, seeing the other side, because what community does is it allows you it allows you to have a perspective of individuals outside of the hospital, treating the community as a patient, and all other subject matters that you learn within school in terms of med surg, mental health, fundamentals, physical assessment, you name it, all of that is intertwined through community. So you're able to have a better grasp on what to do for individuals simply because you learned the basis of what to do within those other courses, so you'll apply it to this course right here to allow you to get a better perspective on what you should do. Perfect. Does that make sense? And that's really the main takeaway from community health. You get to learn about the pollution, the population, environmental stressors. You get to learn about in terms of like homeless people, the what kind of people in terms of demographic is homeless, why people are homeless, how we can how can we help them, what things that we can do in terms of like disaster relief. There's a lot of different things that you can like learn from community health. So please, if you're watching this video and you're thinking in your head like community is like boo-boo, don't do that just yet. In fact, I believe that a lot more people should actually go down the community route, you know, work in clinics, because that's a lot of people who may not be insured, who may need help, who need to be serviced, that needs really good, strong nurses to help them. And you gotta want to care about this stuff. I mean, honestly, you gotta want to care about it, period. Because if not, you're probably not gonna be a great nurse. You're not gonna be a good nurse at all. I wouldn't recommend recommend anybody to go to you. And on top of that, like, you're gonna get burnt out.
You think I'm playing?
Now, the last thing I want to discuss, and this is gonna be super quick. I'm gonna be honest. I almost failed this quarter on a technicality, and I'm gonna tell you why. So I was up late night, just chilling, awake. I don't know why I was still awake at this time. I think I just had a lot on my mind, man. I think God was on my side, and I'm gonna tell you why. So keep in mind, this was like 4 in the morning. No cap. I got a cap on, but no cap. It was like 4 in the morning when this happened. So I'm about ready to go to bed, and then, and I know this is funny because like my fiance, I know she's gonna remember this. I'm about ready to go to bed, and before I do, I usually always check my phone. I think I was on Facebook randomly, and I seen like my classmate's name, and it triggered me to look at my group me that other classmates are in, right? So when I looked at my group me, I think somebody said something about a location that I know I am going to be going to in terms of like my clinical for community, right? And so I was like, whoa, my heart jumped out of, I'm like, bro, I almost got a heart attack because it's 4 in the morning. And I think it was like Monday. Well, technically it's now Tuesday. I'm thinking my clinical that I had was like for Monday. I was like, oh snap. Dang, I think I missed my clinical. So I look at the time, and then it just so happened that my clinical was, you know, that day. And it started at 7. I said, shit, I'm only gonna get 2 hours of sleep, man. But at the end of the day, them 2 hours was better than failing. I'm gonna just say that. So I went in the room, and then I was like, hey baby. I'm talking to my fiance. I was like, shit, I gotta wake up in like 2 hours, man. I was like, perfect. I'm punching the air right now. But at the end of the day, I was like, bro, I don't know what would have happened. I don't know who feet I would have had to rub if I would have missed that clinical.
Get some help.
I think I would have had to just take that L, just point blank period. Because unfortunately, reason why I know this, because I know a classmate that I had in the same cohort. If you watching this video, no hard feelings. Man, she ain't make it because of that very situation. So I said, dang, that could have been me. With all said and done, everybody, you are great. Just remember that. If you're going through your nursing cohort and everything, and you're watching this video, you're checking this out, and you're like, dang, how can I be like this guy? How can I be energetic and passionate and all this stuff? Honestly, man, you got to understand what your why is. Once you understand what your why is, you just hold on to it like for dear life. I'm talking about to the point where you're squeezing onto your why so much that it becomes a part of you. It's almost like tattooing and ingrained within you. It's like literally imprinted within your database, your mind. And when you can get to the point where you have that fundamental understanding and you unlock that awareness, you then can become more. You then can achieve a higher form of yourself. You then can go out and get all the grades you want to get. You can achieve all the things you want to hit. You can have the dope resume. You can get the specialty that you're going after once you graduate from nursing school. You can get anything that you want as long as you believe. But it starts with you right there. Watch this video. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Do all that good stuff. Hit the bell to be notified. And if you're new to the channel, man, make sure you check out the affiliate links down below. Keep in mind, man, I'm trying to grow this channel. Share the video. Like everything. And that's it for the video, man. It's your boy Jamal _Haki. Peace out.
It's the act of God. I used to act the fool, but now I act in movies. Actually, I'm just making moves. We still making music. Tell you about my past to secure my future. I'm all in my bag. Flow like a computer. That's a humble brag.